Ever since I can remember, I have been deeply interested in life and spiritual things. Since early girlhood, I have ever been seeking more light, and am always the happiest when some definite revelation is given me. Since the very beginning of my writing in 1908, each one of my books has been a chapter out of my own life's experience. No matter how happily and contently I may have basked in the experience of the one eternal day, soon I would find myself again hungering and thirsting for more of the same real substance, and so would again take up the search for more light. To me, progress in spiritual light and revelation is absolutely essential to joyous, healthy, active experience. I always long to freshly feed on man from on high, new and vivifying. This provides me with inspiration, enthusiasm, ardour, love, peace, and contentment. Many times I have seen people apparently content to think and live, as it were, entirely confined to certain prescribed teachers, books, and writings. I have often wondered why they should so deprive themselves of the unparalleled glory of self-revelation. Unless we seek direct contact with God by way of our own heart and inner feeling, how shall divine prophecy ever come to pass? And they shall all be taught of God. The revelation of God to man, you can surely see and must admit, could not have come to a close, since God is infinite and so must infinitely reveal himself to us. No certain revelation could ever be a final one, inasmuch as there is no end to God. Dear friends, the time is here for everyone to remove himself all mental restrictions, for they only cramp and limit one's growth in truth, and so prevent the much-desired individual revelation and unfoldment. Life and its ever-revealing ideas and realities await to bless us all. Thus we should not remain satisfied with the measure of light and progress we may have, but ever be alive to the deeper and more glorious realities waiting just ahead of us. Such inner joyous and happy aspirations after the deep things of God, which will become the very practical things we now stand in need of, keep us always in a delightful, active and animated state, and bring us a rich reward. So be assured that you may now place yourself in touch with direct divine illumination and revelation as set forth in this series, and in gaining such illumination you will likewise partake of happiness such as you have never before experienced. In the early days of my study in truth, within me were two most important questions for which I have never received permanently satisfying answers. They were these: where and how did evil begin? How is it that I consider myself a son of God and feel that I represent the spiritual, perfect man? Still I walk about in a physical form and live, apparently, in a material world of strife. Then another very puzzling question to me was this: who or what are the mortals mentioned so frequently in certain truth literature? My search for answers to these perplexing questions never altogether ceased until about 2 years ago, when one day, while not thinking at all along these lines, suddenly I was enveloped in a bright light and certain distinct revelation was given me relative to the origin of evil. Greatly astonished, amazed, and even at first bewildered, I listened, for the answer coincided with nothing that I had previously been taught. This revelation proved to be the first of many others which have since followed. As a result of this first light, I wrote and published my book, The Price of Glory, which has been so happily received by many. After this, much more light was revealed to me, and then, one never-to-be-forgotten day, I received the answer to that long-asked question: who are the mortals? This answer straightened out many other things for me, and often in a way diametrically different to what I had ever suspected. In writing this I Am That I Am series, I am constrained to say that I feel certain such revelations have come to me only because I have been willing to share with the world such precious moments. I feel confident that we should all do even as Paul admonished: as every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another. Jesus too definitely stated, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." So we must be willing to surrender all that is required of us in order to lovingly obey Jesus' thrice repeated admonition: feed my sheep. But within the pages of this series, I have presented the origin of evil as given me by the self-revealing light. I recall now how at one time in my life I accepted the idea that evil had no origin, in fact, that such were impossible, since if one were to find the answer to it, he would be giving reality to that which is unreal, and so making evil a fact. Now, strangely enough, the exact opposite of this view is the logical one, as I will show you in a very simple way. Truth has no origin, that is, truth is without beginning or end. Had evil no origin in belief, it would be as eternal as truth. Is this not so? But as we find it easy to believe that evil will someday come to an end, even as the Bible tells, then it must have had a beginning, for nothing can end unless it began. Furthermore, to locate the source of evil and destroy it, there is the only way to bring its history to a close, and so make way for the millennium. Thus, the mistaken belief that evil has no beginning must now give place to the contrary new idea, and so help bring its so-called reign to a close. All who are living in the light will surely welcome the radiant glory of the dawning day. It is wise to give no undue attention to the personal channel through which any revelation comes, that you may enjoy to the utmost the radiance of the light, and glorify the Christ self which sheds it. During this past summer, fuller illumination regarding many things came to me. For instance, in this series I present the light which was revealed to me on the following subjects: Jesus Christ, love wisdom, the self-revealing light, the I am self, the demonstrating supply, or multiplying our good, the original sin, our real and unreal states, male and female, the Adam dream, marriage and happiness, the 7 days, and many other subjects. Thus may the love light revealed and diffused within these pages be the quickening spirit which will arouse all who read them to recognize their own Christ self as able and willing to impart direct a divine illumination and revelation to them, thus being the self-revealing light in whose light shall we see light. As the light found herein has been given the author in response to her constant reaching out for it and her willingness to share it with others, so may each one of you be so illuminated, exalted, and established in this absolute truth that you too will gladly spread it and share it with others. For he that hath access to the self-revealing light, to him shall be given a continuous revelation of that light, until the darkness has completely vanished from sight and there is one eternal day. Lillian Dewaters.